1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
If you have the right coach and give the coach the resources financially to be able to compete, you can turn a program around and get it back on the right track.
Oh, having the dude changes a lot of things.
But here's the problem. If you don't give the dude the resources, the dude's not going to be duty. Is that a word?
Dude. Duty is a word. D-U-T-Y.
Just not right there.
Just different context.
Exactly. So I think that it's a two-part conversation. Like, all of a sudden the guy just, oh, thank you so much. All of a sudden the guy just doesn't stop being a good coach, right? And we see, like, for example, and I'm going to say this, and maybe there was some health concern in this. Thad Matta at Butler. Thad Matta's been to Final Fours. Thad Matta's gone deep in tournaments. Thad Matta got to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 at Butler. And that turned him into getting what he got at Ohio State, when he played for the championship at Ohio State. So the Mike Conley team and Greg Oden and those guys. Greg Oden, oldest looking 20-year-old in the history of the world. And so it's just, don't tell me Thad Matta forgot how to coach. Now, here's my question. And I know that Butler, their NIL space isn't anything to what everybody else is. And now, of course, they've said the right things because they're going to hire a new coach. They've said, we're going to start being competitive in NIL. Well, why the hell weren't you?
Right. I mean, what changed? Do you think you just went with less?
Yeah, I mean, because you know this, right? We're not going to be able to hire a coach worth of crap with any kind of skins in the game if we're not going to make sure they have the money to compete now. So you got to say that out loud, right? And in the Big East, you got to get to $8 million. And Butler wasn't near $8 million in the Big East. Maybe $10 million in the Big East,
That's
too.
The wild thing, too, is that in theory, those schools in the Big East would have a leg up on a lot of other schools because they don't have football to pay for.
But you know what I read? There's a great deep dive in The Athletic about this. They said the Big East schools, for an example, they thought that was going to be the case until the power conference schools said, oh, yeah, watch how we manipulate this whole salary cap thing, guys.
The cap was a suggestion.
Yes.
Definitely like Sean Murphy, Peyton, that he just came in here. Yeah, there's a lot of other people, Fred Johnson. There's a lot of other people that are definitely taking that role because we see the need that we saw what we lacked last year, and we're not going to let that happen again. So we're definitely trying to find more leadership roles around just the team in general.
It was interesting that you have a player, Elijah, just step up and say, well, we just lacked leadership last year.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, look, we talked about this through the season about the leadership because it was a thing coming into the year. When last season started, we were saying, okay, who are going to be the guys to step up and become leaders because you're losing a lot of adults, grown men, dudes are married with families.
Who's going to fill the family void?
Exactly. And no one stepped up consistently to be those leaders last year. And even Shane, Jay and I talked to Shane around Christmas on the show, and Shane basically said, yeah, leadership was a thing. And we asked him, when did you start to be concerned about it? He goes, it was something I knew had to evolve before the season, but it just never evolved the way it did the year before. Mm-hmm. And look, we say this all the time. Everybody rolls their eyes on these stupid words like culture and leadership.
They become buzzwords after a while.
But if you've ever played a sport on any level in your life, those two things matter. They just do. It's tough to win with the best, especially look, football is the ultimate team game. We say it all the time. Culture and leadership matter more in football than other sports. But in every sport, it matters to a point. But in football, it's such a thing to have a good culture, to have leaders. And look, the best teams, the leaders run the locker room.
Yes.
Well, 2 years ago, we saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And look, not every great player is a great leader. They're not. Some of them they lead by going on the field and playing really well, right? They lead
by example, yes. Not vocally and being.
They're not alphas, and that's
outspoken.
okay.
Yeah.
But you got to have alphas in some way, shape, or form in your locker room. Mm-hmm. And last year, like the Texas A&M game was an example to me. We were sitting there. I remember watching it, and then the next day we're talking about it. I'm like, if you have leadership, you don't lose that game. Because when that lead is slipping away from you, your leaders are getting you together on the sideline saying, guys, we were kicking the bleep out of these dudes in the first half. We got these guys. Everybody breathe. Let's just go play football like we did in the first half. We're fine. You saw A&M. They had leaders all over the sideline. The minute A&M scored, all these guys are huddling everybody up.
Marcel Reed got everybody together.
He got in their grill and he said, okay, that's the start. We just scored. Now let's go win the game. And South Carolina on the sideline, everybody's just standing there like he just walked out of a train accident. Mm-hmm. And it showed you, Ryan Brewer's great. Ryan Brewer always looks at the sideline. Because Brewer he was one of the leaders on those Holtz teams. Brewer always looks at the sideline when things are going sideways to see who's talking, who's pulling guys together. And Brewer, every week we had him on the show with Jay and I, Brewer would say, I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. So leadership is a huge part of this team in 2026.